jumping, they jump only on the back feet. You would then call them a biped. When they're jumping, only the back feet. The back feet are where the springs are. If you look at the front legs, they're quite muscular. That's why when you see the pictures of kangaroos like this, they're all huge. Because they're walking like this on their front feet and their tail, and their back feet are just kind of keeping pace. The kangaroos, when they're jumping, back feet only, you call them a biped. That's what puts the springs into motion. So they come down out of the air, stretches, wham, throws them forward as that pendulum closes back up. Hey, Ruff. So when they are jumping, that's what puts the springs into motion. So for a kangaroo to walk is effort of one. To jump at a low speed is effort of one. To jump top speed 45 miles an hour, hitting the ground across the desert, it's only 2 to 3 times the effort and caloric expenditure by walking. So kangaroos can cover 15 to 20 miles per day in the desert on about 500 calories of it. The way his legs are all wet right there, that is the kangaroo's built-in swamp cooler. He's got a tremendous network of blood vessels just below the skin on his front leg where his mouth can reach. So as he licks himself all slothery, when that slother evaporates off of him, it cools the blood that's still below his skin. The kangaroo is a desert survivor. Laid out like you do with these guys. If y'all are standing here and working really up and down at least one day, and you watch these guys, if it does get dawn, they jump around like anything. It doesn't bother me, but you can have as good of a view as that you go out there, watch the sunset, watch the kangaroos jump. You go out on you go out there and close the gate behind you when you go out because the water's so low from the drought right now. If the mama doesn't unlock it, you can walk right across the trip trap across the bridge and down the driveway. So close the gate when you go out on the gazebo. Yes, you're welcome to go out there.
How do kangaroos decide when they'd rather jump versus walk?
When they're going slow, like a mile an hour, when they're just moving around, they eat food that's right there by them. They walk, and all the rest of the time they jump. All right, let's go inside and see the babies now, y'all.
Watch his face.
Gotcha.
Thanks, man. So, we found you.
Yeah?
When you had the baby sloth. You did
Alive
video.
with it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where you guys from?
Franklin.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Not too far.
So she has a love of horses.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And pretty drive from Franklin, too.
It is. Well, and we stopped in Cookville.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 4 dogs and dropped them off at my in-laws.
Yeah.
So we came down through Dayton.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Yeah.
My grandparents used to have a restaurant up there.
What was it?
In Cookville. I can't remember if they called it Lovelace Country Kitchen, but that's the one they called in Dawsonville. It was like one of those meat and greet places.
Kangaroos, welcome to Fowl. They're not afraid of you at all. Come on, babies. All right, guys. So baby kangaroos, really unusual. Outside we were mainly talking about the idiosyncrasies of an adult. In here we're going to kind of talk about kangaroo reproduction, gestation, such as that. I'm going to talk a little fast because this usually is a 30-minute encounter for baby kangaroo bottle feeding, but I'm just going to kind of give you some of the information now. Especially since we've got one person who experiences things differently than us. He's interested in knowledge. All right, so the baby kangaroo. The gestation for a kangaroo is 33 days, fertilization to birth. When it gives birth, it is something the size of a jelly bean, 2 grams. The baby 2-gram jelly bean crawls up the mother's pouch and latches onto a teat. It does not let go for a minimum of 70 days up to 90 days. It's latched for that long? Yes. The baby kangaroo. minimum 70 up to 90 days. As long as the baby kangaroo remains latched on, mother makes something more similar to colostrum than milk, because she is essentially nursing something in a semi-embryonic state. Yeah, they can have that. Yeah, they are.
Sorry, guys.
Say something here. They don't eat very much at all. All right, so somewhere between 70 and 90 days, the baby will start to nurse and release, nurse and release. At that point, mom shifts over to making milk, not colostrum. You don't want too much because you spill it on the ground and see it off the floor instead of out of your hand. I'll come right to you. The baby kangaroo, in about 90 days, starts to nurse and release, nurse and release. That's what shifts mom from making colostrum to making milk.
You can go ahead.
As long as it is latched on continuously, you call that a semi-embryonic state. The baby will then remain in the pouch. The first time it will stick its face out of the pouch is 6 months of age. First time it will jump out of the pouch is 7 months of age. They will come out of it, they will jump out of the pouch first time at 7 months, plus or minus 1 day. From 7 to 8 months, the baby can go in and out of the pouch. From 8 to 10 months, they can reach their face in to drink milk, but they cannot fit in the pouch anymore. At 10 months in the wild, they would be weaned. The males would be chased away from the group. The females would become part of the group. Here, we bottle feed them all the way to 18 months. We bottle feed 3 times a day. You can sign up for that at 9:30 in the morning, 6:30 at night, 2:30 in the afternoon. The kangaroos, so that all sounds pretty normal. From there it gets weird. So the kangaroo is a marsupial. Marsupials have 2 uteruses. A kangaroo is pregnant all of the time in both uteruses. They do have to be fertilized for each subsequent pregnancy, but with 2 uteruses and overlapping pregnancies, they will literally be pregnant every day of the rest of their life after their first pregnancy. The female kangaroo continually makes a chemical that is similar to pitocin. Pitocin is what you give to a human female to induce labor. The kangaroo makes it for all of its life, unless it is malnourished or dehydrated. A kangaroo is designed to birth as many babies as it can nourish and no more. When the baby comes up to the pouch and latches onto the teat, it makes the mother produce a second chemical that blocks the pitocin. So she's making pitocin all of the time, but when she has one actively latched onto the teat or nursing, it blocks the pitocin, so it won't normally give birth just back to back to back. So our midwife will be more interested in this, maybe, than everyone else. So it takes 2 days to build up enough pitocin to induce labor. So if the first baby does not make it to the pouch and latch onto a teat, within 2 days she has built up enough pitocin to induce labor again. Fire 2, birth from the second uterus, because she is always pregnant all the time, both uteruses. Does have to be fertilized for each subsequent pregnancy, but will always be pregnant. She births something the size of a jelly bean, so it's not remotely a traumatic birth. She generally breeds back same day, next day.
They just put them back in their pouch? Like, how do they get their birth in the pouch?
2 little front legs like this and mouth like this. The mom licks a slobbery trail from where they come out to where they go in, and they have to make it on their own. And the mother's teats do drip a little bit to make a smell, so that they are following the smell. All right, so if the first baby does not come to the pouch within 2 days, fire 2, birth from the second uterus. If the first baby does make it to the pouch within 2 days, though, then what happens to the second? Because the second is also ready to be delivered. So what happens to the second is embryonic diapause, freeze frame in utero. The baby will not progress, it will not regress. It will remain exactly the way it is for days, weeks, months, or years until mom is ready to deliver it again. Since she breeds back same day, next day, that means within 30-some days she now has 2 on embryonic diapause, 1 in each uterus, ready to be delivered anytime mom is ready. There are 2 things that make mom ready to deliver again. Number 1, if whatever baby she is currently nursing stops nursing, that takes the blocker off of the pitocin, boom, 2 days later, fire away, birth another baby. Number 2, as I said, they're designed to birth as many as they can nourish and no more. So, if the kangaroo gets overweight, literally too high a body fat content, it will double up the production of pitocin to bypass the blocker, and give birth again. When the second baby comes up and latches onto the teat, it doubles the amount of blocker. Mom cannot possibly produce enough Pitocin to bypass the blocker twice. So it cannot possibly birth a third baby at the same time. When the baby goes from colostrum, when it starts to nurse and release, it goes from colostrum to milk. If the second baby comes up because mom is overweight, that could be a significant period of time between the two. If mom has already shifted colostrum to milk, one teat starts over with colostrum while the first one continues to make milk. That is the only animal I am aware of that can make two different products with its two different teats at the same time. The kangaroos, mothers are not carrying mothers. If a female kangaroo were to have a mantra, that mantra would be, live to have more. At all costs, live to have more. If the female is being pursued by a predator and has a baby in the pouch big enough to slow it down, it may very well throw the baby down for bait and ditch. Live to have more. If the female is malnourished or dehydrated, she will throw the baby away and ditch. Live to have more. The kangaroos have a brutal but effective means of surviving drought as on the whole. The group of kangaroos is called the mob. The normal family group is 1 male, 50 females. So the 1 male, statistically insignificant, so we're talking about the number of females. The 50 females go into the drought. When they all become malnourished and dehydrated, they all throw all of the babies away. That gives the mob, the group, on the whole, the best odds of surviving the drought. Less kangaroos, less nutritional requirements. But the females are all pregnant. They all have one on embryonic diapause in both uteruses. If they're malnourished or dehydrated, they stop making Pitocin. So no babies will be born until the drought has ended. A drought in a desert place can last for a couple of years. If it is long, and suppose their numbers, they went in with 50, 1 male, statistically insignificant. They start with 50. If the drought is long, maybe they come out with 25. The 25 that come out are going to be obviously the strongest 25. The weakest will not survive, and so they not only, the weak don't survive, the weak are weeded out of the gene pool. So they come out of the drought stronger by individual. They also come out larger in number because at the end of the drought, a drought in a desert place ordinarily ends with extremely heavy rainfall. So everything in the desert turns lush and green all at once. So the kangaroos who have been starving for months all begin to gorge themselves on all the suddenly plentiful, lush green food. They all renourish, rehydrate very, very quickly. As soon as they're renourished, rehydrated, they all begin producing Pitocin again, so they all birth a baby. Within a short period of time, they will all be overweight because they're used to eating scrub grass. Now there's all this plentiful, lush green food. They all gorge themselves to the point of overweight. They all give birth a second time. So that means their numbers would then have gone 50, 25, all birth once 50, all birth a second time 75. So they come out of the drought larger in number and stronger by individual and genetically stronger than they went into the drought. Now suppose the drought is short or they do better through the drought, those numbers might go 50, 40, 80, 120. So you could very much make the argument that a drought is a good and necessary thing for kangaroos in the wild. Also, that makes more genetic diversity because if the same male was the male for a long, long, long time, eventually he'll be breeding his own offspring. And so when animals breed their own offspring, you get more genetic defects. But those genetic defects will not survive past the next drought.
So the females have the baby in utero at all times. Are the males constantly able to it?
No, they get pregnant and it goes into embryonic diapause and stays that way for days, weeks, months, or years. But they only have to be bred once. Then it reframes in utero. It does not progress, does not regress. Remains exactly the way it is for 33 days until forever, until mom births another baby. But they only have to be bred one time to be pregnant.
Should be pregnant constantly forever?
No, she doesn't have to be fertilized for each subsequent pregnancy.
Okay.
But suppose she's pregnant in both uteruses, there's a drought that lasts 2 or 3 years, she doesn't need to be bred again until she gives birth to one of those.
Okay.
Because she remains pregnant. Embryonic diapause, but remains pregnant.
All right.
At what age do the male babies, I guess, start having issues?
The male chases them away as soon as they're weaned. So 10 or 12 months, they're chasing This is the only male that's in here, obviously. This is Max, that's Ruby. Those two are both 13 months. This is Phoebe, that's Rachel. These two, she is 9.5 months, she's 10.5 months.
And were they, any of these were born here?
Rachel is the first kangaroo that was ever born here on farm. But, that one. I'm sorry, Phoebe. Phoebe is the first one that was born here on farm. And Rachel probably is the last kangaroo I'll buy for many years. But all of our kangaroos have been by pairs. So the first two were Rough and Tough, then was Devani and Laura, then was Tom and Jerry, then was Rosie and Josie. Now it's Ruby and Max and Phoebe and Rachel. And Max actually is not my kangaroo. Male kangaroos, for them to be friendly is extraordinarily rare. And another kangaroo breeder saw my video, who's a good boy, who's a good boy. And he said, what is this black magic? I must have one. And so he sent Max to us to raise our way so that he can have a friendly kangaroo. And he'll go back, yeah. Yeah, that guy, his two sons are both first team All-State, one's center, one's left tackle, they're big boys. And his adult male kangaroo newly were both out at the same time. Yeah.
So what do you do then?
Get a new kangaroo. But that's why I say we have not only the genetics but also the intent to grow a record-sized kangaroo. A lot of people, when the kangaroo is too big and too mean, it's time for a new kangaroo.
Do they neuter them? Like, are they exotic?
Yes, we neuter our kangaroos, except for the ones that we're going to use for a breeder. And if you live in the state of Tennessee, it is legal to have a kangaroo as a pet. If you want one that just hops around out in the back 40 and you can watch it out there, buy it from somebody else, it'll be cheap. If you want one that's friendly like this, I'm the only place I know that you can buy one. It's going to cost you about $5,000 to neuter now. But it'll already be neutered and it will already have been hand-fed by hundreds of people. So if you get one from me, it's a friendly pet animal. If you want one to hop around out the back 40, buy it from somewhere else, it'll cost a fraction of what I would charge you for it. And the reason mine are expensive is we have a lot of time and a lot of milk into these. The bottles are crazy expensive. That's why not so many places ever bottle feed kangaroos. But the fact that people pay me to bottle feed kangaroos offsets some of that cost. But still, I'm into these kangaroos for a portion by the time they go to be pets for something else. And our first two that went out to pet homes went to Our Life Adventures, the people with 10 monkeys live inside their house. And that's Tom and Jerry that you can see on their podcast, web, YouTube, whatever they are.
Is it legal to kangaroos in most states?
I don't know about most states. I can tell you about Tennessee.
How's it try that?
I can tell you Georgia, you're allowed to have a dog or a cat, either one.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay.
You can't even own I was going to say a hedgehog in Georgia. You can't own a microstory. There's all kinds of stuff you can't own.
I've never had kangaroos.
Say what?
I've never had some kangaroos.
Oh, yeah? Where do you live?
Franklin.
Franklin. Who's your name, Luke?
Brian.
Oh, Luke Bryan, singer Luke Bryan? Okay. I didn't sell many of those.
I was curious.
It was interesting when I was filming the kangaroo's back legs. I noticed they kind of feel similar to a cat's back legs. I wonder if both cats and kangaroos have that spring thing.
I don't know, I've seen jump crazy far. That's a good observation. Does Luke Bryan sing the song Rain is a Good Thing? So we lived in an RV at one point. We were traveling around the country, and we were gone for like a year and a half. Randomly went to church wherever we were, didn't matter where. And when I happened to be here in town, we went to Silverdale Baptist Church. And I'm not a Baptist, and I left my 5-year-old at kids' church. And when I went to pick him up, they're like, "Yeah, we asked him what songs they sing at your church." And he said, "I don't know, but my daddy's favorite song is Rain Makes Corn, Corn Makes Whiskey." I was like, "That ain't wrong." But I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." I imagine if you were talking to Luke Bryan, he would enjoy that story. But yeah, rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey. That's what he sang for me. So, 5-year-olds, kids say the darndest things, right? Yeah.
Hey, you were talking about the bill when we were in Texas, they had one that was mounted, and it's a Himalayan umbrella. Oh, Himalayan? Have you ever found a Himalayan on the side of the road?
There's one laying on 64 highway up by the bus bar right now.
Oh, they're
Dude's like this big.
I did wonder how you said I could stop a bullet, but they're dead all over at back home.
Bull in the truck is a lot different.
That's why, just how they're hitting them.
Yeah, getting smashed by a truck is a lot different than getting shot by a bullet.
Around the side of the road.
27 pounds or 22.
Say what?
Does it compress the bullet?
I guess it's like Kevlar. Yeah, you wear a Kevlar vest to be fine from a bullet too, but if you got hit by a truck, it
That is correct.
ain't gonna turn out the same.
Is there a lot of umbrellas in here?
What's that?
Is there a lot of umbrellas?
No, there are not. But I think every last one of them are laying on the road somewhere.
I think
I saw one last time I drove across I-40 over y'all's way.
Yeah.
That I saw 2 and 3 laying on the side of the road.
We got
Driving
one
from
in
here.
our yard, they're gonna-
Oh, is that right?
They've come in the last 5 or 6 years. The Middle Tennessee.
Tell you 226 will come out differently than 22 short.
A little bit. The 45 was quite nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, tracks are all over the side of the road.
Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta get on to the camel encounter. I think most of you guys were for some of you guys. And let's put these guys